Witness the most ruthless moments as emotions run high, secrets are unveiled, and justice takes center stage. Join us in this vetting series as Judge Lauren fearlessly navigates contested paternity claims and untangles webs of deceit, revealing the raw emotions that drive each case. Due to a genetic disease, the mother strongly believes that the defendant is the father of her child.
But it can be passed through your mom, your dad. It could be down the road from anybody in your family. It don't have to be necessarily from you.
Ms. Renfro asserts with 100% certainty that the defendant is the father of her 6-month-old son, Kendall. She claims that Kendall's serious medical condition is genetically linked to the defendant, making the paternity results crucial. When questioned, Mr. Twosey admits that he does not believe Kendall is his child, because the baby looks nothing like him, stating that the child appears way too white for him to be the father.
I mean, I looked at the baby. Look, the baby looks way too white.
Okay,
I'm white.
so Ms. Renfro,
I'm white.
listen.
Despite being offended, the judge delves into the nature of their relationship. Ms. Renfro explains that they initially met as friends through mutual acquaintances, following which they got serious. They even discussed the possibility of being in a committed relationship. However, Mr. Twosey distanced himself after learning about the news, ignoring Ms. Renfro's attempts to communicate. Mr. Twosey attempts to cast doubt on the paternity claim, mentioning unrelated past experiences. He talks about a previous situation where he was not the biological father of a child, but the judge dismisses its relevance. Ms. Renfro insists on the paternity claim due to a genetic disease called Hirschsprung's disease, which affected Kendall's intestines. She explains that this condition is hereditary and points to the defendant's family history as a possible source. During the trial, it is revealed that another man's name is on Kendall's birth certificate because he willingly took on a fatherly role. The judge questions Mr. Twosey about the genetic disease, but he denies having it or any family history of intestinal issues. The judge becomes frustrated with his absence in Kendall's life and questions Ms. Renfro's change in attitude during the trial. When asked about her actions, Ms. Renfro admits to making mistakes. The judge then calls for the DNA results, and both parties claim to be prepared for the outcome. The DNA test reveals that Mr. Twosey is not the father, leading to a dramatic reaction from Ms. Renfro.
Mr. Twosey, you are not the father.
Yes!
Oops.
Told you!
Oops.
The judge admonishes Ms. Renfro for attempting to falsely attribute paternity and causing unnecessary distress. The defendant seemed determined to distance herself from the Fuller family. Mr. Fuller and his mother appeared before the court, asserting that he is the father of the defendant's 2-year-old daughter, Melanie. They claimed that Miss Nelson had initially led them to believe that Mr. Fuller was Melanie's father and had built a strong bond with the child. However, Miss Nelson now wants to sever that relationship.
DNA results prove you're correct.
They will never see my daughter again, and their time just has expired with my child.
When asked about her certainty regarding Melanie's paternity, Miss Nelson stated that if the DNA results confirm her belief, she intends to cut all ties between Melanie and the Fuller family, indicating that their time with the child would come to an end. This stance was questioned by the judge due to the existing relationship between Melanie and the Fuller family. Mr. Fuller explained that he was manipulated by his ex-friend, Miss Nelson, into believing he was Melanie's father. He recounted instances where he had spent time with Melanie, even allowing her to stay overnight at his place for about 3 months. Miss Nelson acknowledged allowing Melanie to spend time with the Fuller family. Text messages were presented as evidence, showing affectionate messages between Mr. Fuller and Miss Nelson regarding Melanie. Another witness was brought in who believed that Miss Nelson might be intentionally causing confusion for her own selfish reasons.
Why do you believe your daughter cannot even believe it's a possibility that he's her biological father? What do you think this is about?
The other guy.
The other guy.
The witness stated that Miss Nelson would claim Melanie as Mr. Fuller's child when they were on good terms, and as someone else's when they were not. The judge expressed his frustration with Miss Nelson's inconsistent stance and attempts to manipulate the situation. The judge also acknowledged the Fuller family's desire for a relationship with Melanie. The judge mentioned that while she wanted to understand Miss Nelson's perspective, it was difficult given the contradictory behavior. Ultimately, to ascertain the truth, DNA testing was conducted. The results showed that Mr. Fuller was not Melanie's biological father.
Mr. Fuller, you are not her father.
I knew it. I knew I slept with. I knew it. I knew it.
This revelation brought mixed reactions from both sides, with Mr. Fuller expressing a sense of validation, and the Fuller family feeling betrayed by Miss Nelson's actions. Emotions ran high as apologies and blames were exchanged between the parties involved. In this episode of Paternity Court, Fallon Nazarene is taking legal action against her ex-friend, Mr. Remy, accusing him of being an absentee father and failing to provide support for her 2 children. She claims that Remy's actions have caused significant pain and suffering for her and the kids.
Ms. Nazarene, you are here today to sue your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Ramy, for being an absentee father and a deadbeat dad.
On the other side, Mr. Remy asserts that Nazarene is not as innocent as she seems, describing her as difficult to deal with due to her irrational behavior and tendency to become angry and violent over trivial matters.
The decision to be overtly angry, volatile, and violent for things that I consider to be less than important.
When questioned by Judge Lauren about Remy's statements, Nazarene denies his accusations and explains that they had only one incident involving money and a faulty car during their relationship. Despite their differences, she emphasizes that they were once best friends and attempted to reconcile. As the trial proceeds, Remy smirks and contradicts some of Nazarene's statements. He reveals that he moved across the country without consulting her and admits to providing inconsistent financial support based on his job situation. He acknowledges that he has helped Nazarene with money when she asked for it. Nazarene, however, challenges Remy's commitment as a father, referencing a personal tragedy in her family and accusing him of prioritizing other matters over their child's needs. She confronts him about not caring for their son and dismisses his concern for the deceased nephew. The tension escalates when Judge Lauren highlights a particularly hurtful text message that Nazarene sent to Remy, expressing her anger towards his family. The judge interrupts to emphasize the importance of not stooping to such levels in their interactions. Judge Lauren addresses both parties, acknowledging that while Nazarene may be difficult to deal with, Remy needs to step up as a responsible father regardless. The judge emphasizes the significance of emotional support and communication in parenting, suggesting that they seek family counseling to address their issues and improve their co-parenting relationship. In her verdict, Judge Lauren highlights the detrimental impact of their ongoing conflicts on their children and advises both Nazarene and Remy to reconsider their approach. She stresses that true parenting involves more than just financial support and urges them to prioritize the well-being of their children by fostering a healthier co-parenting dynamic. In a dynamic courtroom session, Judge Lauren was faced with a peculiar case involving decide and paternity doubts. Pavel brought a case against his wife, Burns, questioning the paternity of their son, Lucas.
Mr. Powell, you claim your wife, Ms. Burns, cheated on you with the man standing next to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
After only 3 months of marriage.
Yes, Your Honor.
The revelation came after Pavel discovered certain facts, just 3 months into their marriage. He accused Burns of betraying. Judge Lauren questioned Pavel about the circumstances, where he revealed that Burns had betrayed him shortly after their marriage, which led to doubts about Lucas's paternity. Burns explained that she felt burdened with responsibilities and believed Pavel was not adequately providing for their family. An argument ensued about child support, with Burns accusing Pavel of relying on his mother for financial support. The judge further delved into the timelines and learned that Burns had informed both potential fathers.
We have a child together. We have a 6-year-old together. So when the DNA come up for her and he come back the father to her, he wanted to meet her because he hadn't seen her pretty much her whole life.
One of the potential fathers, Mr. Jones, expressed anger and frustration upon learning the news. Powell, however, had doubts about the situation given his history with Burns. To address the conflicting claims, Judge Lauren investigated Burns of some more questions. But Powell presented the results of a lie detector test that contradicted her claims. In a surprising turn of events, both potential fathers, Mr. Jones and Powell, found themselves aligning against Burns. The judge questioned Burns about her motives, asking why she had created such a complicated situation. Burns defended herself, stating that she was not responsible for their decisions and that she would move on with her life if they chose not to be part of it. With her emotions running high, the judge acknowledged the situation's complexity. She then revealed the DNA test results. The outcome revealed that Mr. Jones was the biological father of Lucas, despite his initial reluctance.
Mr. Jones, you are his father.
Powell, however, was not the father, even though he had wished to be. Judge Lauren advised Mr. Jones to consider the lessons learned from this situation and make choices that would benefit his own well-being. The courtroom concluded with a mix of emotions, highlighting the complexities and challenges of relationships, decide, and parenthood. Do share your views in the comment section below and subscribe to our channel for more such videos.